Let's say hello to Henry Cejudo, the reigning defending UFC flyweight champion, the king of cringe. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but a former Olympic gold medalist as well. Little known fact about Henry Cejudo. Steps on the scale. He is a man possessed. And he has really come into his own as a personality, right? 134 for Henry Cejudo. Marlon has looked phenomenal in his last 3 fights. 3 vicious finishes in the first round.
You're not supposed to be able to finish those guys that he fought in that type of way. I mean, let alone just beating them, but dominating them and knocking them out in the first round as he did.
He steps on the scale. The New Jersey resident by way of Brazil.
Getting some cat calls from the back of the room.
He hits his mark. And there she is, the Bullet, Valentina Shevchenko. If Chael were here, he would just call her the Bullet. Chael has never actually said her name. He just calls her the Bullet.
Why is that? Do you know?
I think it's just, it's part of his charm. Stepping on the scale, one of the most dominant female fighters in the sport right now. And that's 124 for the pride of Kyrgyzstan. Here comes Cejudo-Eye. She is asking for the hoop. Massive opportunity for her. Competing in the co-main event against Valentina Shevchenko for the women's flyweight title. Here's Cejudo-Eye stepping on the scale. 125 for Cejudo-Eye. And there you have it. And so now we can address the elephant in the room, Brett. We were hearing that this was a little bit problematic and troublesome, and I couldn't help but think, oh, here's Cejudo-Eye. She's very excited. Let's give her her moment here. But I couldn't help but think about Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh, my gosh.
Who has lost 2 title fights leading up. This could have been her 3rd. Remember the Amanda Nunes fight that fell through at 213, the Nico Montano fight that fell through last September. My heart would have been broken.
Valentina has a hard time getting her opponents to make it to the octagon. There's no doubt.
Great moment here for Cejudo-Eye. That has to feel like a victory in its own right. Tony Ferguson, who of course is in that highly anticipated. So formulate your thoughts there while we say hello to El Cucuy. And it is so good to see him back. He last fought in October at UFC 229, had that big win over Anthony Pettis. And tomorrow night he meets Donald Cerrone in a potential #1 contender fight. It hasn't been branded as such, but this fight is so good that no one even seems to care. Great to see Tony in great spirits all week. A somewhat subdued Tony Ferguson, who hits his mark at 155 pounds. Cowboy Cerrone, the man who will meet Tony Ferguson tomorrow night. And it's always interesting to see Cerrone on the scales, a 155-pounder. He's taking this fight on short notice as well. He's coming off that win over Ally Quinta. So let's say hello to the winningest fighter in UFC history, Donald Cerrone. He hits his mark, 155.5 for Donald Cerrone.